Hey YouTube, so I'm wearing Jose's disguise because I'm a bonehead and I need a disguise. So yesterday I went out and made or was attempting to make a adventure bike video. I wanted to show the different types of terrain that you can use an adventure bike on. You know, just a short series, and you know, encourage people to get out there and use their bikes. Well, first two segments went pretty easy. The third one, I picked a trail that was probably at the upper limits of an adventure bike. The problem is, and this road goes around Mingus Mountain. It's like 7,300 feet in elevation, and the trail actually skirts the mountain around 6,600 feet, and you look off into this valley. Really pretty ride. Well, I pulled over at an intersection, and where multiple, you know, probably about 4 trails meet. Did my little shtick, had some water and whatnot, and the heat was getting to me, and I had a rectal cranial inversion, and wasn't paying attention to the GPS, and instead of maintaining along the top of the mountain to get to Jerome, which was my final destination, and I had been on this trail countless times, and wasn't paying attention to the GPS, and I ended up on basically a luge trail down the side of the hill. Just went, it goes basically straight down, drops elevation really quickly, and I was just, as I was going along, I'm thinking, man, this is washed out, but it looks familiar, which it wasn't. And the funny thing is, I kept motoring along, and when I figured it out, I looked back and there was no way to get back up. I mean, I wasn't getting there, and I ended up, you know, just taking a little spill, messed up the motorcycle. I'll show you a little bit later, but you'll see the track down the hill. Right where I biffed it was actually after the technical part, and it was still a pretty good decline, if you will, incline, decline, whatever. But I always stopped paying attention or whatever, and hit some of the probably fist-sized rocks, and it just slid because it was, you know, fairly deep like that, and ended up on my side. But probably, I mean, I had just gotten done the technical part, and actually there was 2 quads that flipped over up the trail. So I mean, it just went one thing on top of the other. So not too much happened. I'll show you what happened. You'll see the video coming up next, and then after that I'll show you what happened, the aftermath, which was, thank God, pretty minimal. So here you go. Enjoy. Oh.
Hello, for those that you don't know me, I'm Arizona Desert Dog. Well, here's a sketchy little area. And I think it's best to stay off to the right here. There we go. Now this bike's got pretty low clearance, so just pounding through here is not quite the answer. Right. You guys all right?
Yeah, this guy's down there though. We got a couple quads, and one of the guys took a little bit of a spill right there. But
Oh dear.
I don't know what they're doing.
That was for sure a fight. Looks like there's a nice little trail system down there. I've never been down on those. These downhill sections, oh, dang it. That's not gonna be fun. All right. That's kind of what I was worried about. It'll take a minute here. Well, we finally tipped her over. I'll have to get her back up here somehow. We're on a downhill. So hopefully I can get her up by myself and get her back underway. All right. This is a mess, so let's see what we can do. Looks looks like we lost a directional. Get the kickstand. Oh, jeez. Much worse than what I thought. So, directional is about the least of my worries. There's a circlet missing. Which we'll probably never find. Need an alternate bucket. Alright kids, we're back up. Problem is, not a whole lot of damage, but unfortunately can't be fixed on the trail. We don't have any circlets. Took out a directional, which is not a big deal. The shift lever is held on by a circlip in the back. So, use a little bit of wire and some electrical tape to hold it on. I'm just going to have to be very, very careful. So, here's the dilemma. On top of our little get off, we've hopped onto the wrong trail. Never been on this one before. So I don't even know where this comes out. Or how bad it is. So, it's all part of the adventure. We're gonna roll with it. Be as careful as we can. Well, there's that little mine shaft down there we saw from way up top. We're gonna stop right here. Have a little hydration. Maybe get a cell signal. So, I'm not sure where we're going to come out. We're close to Jerome. I'll pop by there. And if not, I'm just going to head back on the on Interstate 17 back to Phoenix. But I'm hoping this here road is as easy as it looks from here all the way home. So we're about 3/4 of the way down, and I believe we're headed for Cottonwood. We'll see how that all works out. I'm going to swap GPSs when I get off the trail here. It'll give me a better idea, civilization-wise, where I am. Right now I got to keep the trail GPS on and keep me picking correctly through these little trails here. Well, we're getting real close to the bottom. Pretty far down in elevation. And that has its pluses and minuses. The big plus is that we're almost on pavement and possibly haven't shot at fixing this thing. And two, it's a minus, excuse me, albeit a small minus, it's getting hotter. There's a nice breeze right at the moment, but the heat's definitely a factor. This is I do it in the summertime, but the best time to do is September and March. So, I don't know. Crazy thoughts. So we have made it back to pavement, and I'm assuming civilization. I'm going to pop the other GPS on and put a little bit of more tape around this little cob job I got working. Get rehydrated and see how far it is back to the hacienda. Well, here's the deal. We are back in civilization. Looks like we've got plenty of fuel to get home. Unfortunately, the dark clouds you see in front of me are monsoon clouds, so we'll be running into those. So I will do a final report when we get back to the house. We'll turn on with it.
All right, so now that you've seen what happened, I'll show you what the aftermath is. Pretty minimal. However, it was one of it was difficult to fix on the trail. Good thing the little cob job I did held out and got me home, which involved safety wire and electrical tape. But I'll let you see it, and I'll pick through each point. It's probably maybe $150 worth of damage, which is not a big deal. Good thing it was slow speed, and everybody made it out without any stitches or casts or anything like that. So here you go. All right, we'll start with the top up here. When it hit the ground, it hit on the left handlebar. Bounce this back. This is just another bolt. It may have tweaked the handlebars, but I think it's these are rubber mounted risers, and I think it may have just twisted that. It's fine. I wanted to get a set of aftermarket bars to be a little bit stiffer. The hand guard folded up there. That's not too terrible big of a deal. I think I can get that to go back. The Givey crash guard did their job. Pretty much saved the plastic. It actually pushed it back from the crash that I had on the other side a while back. It slid this little Givey deal towards the back and pushed my camera mount. It's a good thing. I was just thinking about using one of these alternative camera mounts to put the drift on. I would have been minus the drift, which is a good thing. I did not do that. Scratch this up a little bit. These are pretty easy to take out. The biggest problem was the shifter. So right down here behind all this electrical tape is where the shift lever connects, and it actually drives a rod that actually goes up to the I'm losing my train of thought here. The transmission. Anyway, what holds this on is a circlip. Circlip was gone, so this just actually pops off every time you shift. So what I ended up doing is taking for the groove of the serve clip, I put a piece of safety wire in and then just taped it up and shifted as little as possible. But the other thing that we lost here was a directional. I mean, those are kind of consumable on an off-road bike. But other than that, we've come through it pretty unscathed. I have these highway pegs on, and which is a good thing because they kind of defend against any more damage too. I think that helped out a lot. They actually kind of absorb some of the energy because they fold in. But other than that, it came through pretty good. Like I said, it'd probably be about $150 worth of damage that I'll pick away at and see if we can't go from there. I really wanted to put that $150 into improvements and not into repairs, but hey, that's life, and it's only stuff, right? Thanks for watching, and adios.